Pleasure connecting with you, Coy. Yeah, if you could
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about your experience using TaskBlink and how you first heard about it, I'd love to hear more.
Well, I don't remember, but I must have received a text. That's what I must have received, but I don't really remember that. But I thought, let's give this a shot and see what the story's all about. And you said something on the initial call that made me think, okay, if this is remotely true, then it's worth doing, which was, I guarantee you 3 sales a month, I think is what you said. I thought if I can even get 1 or 2, I'd be happy with the price versus value to me. And so I put it in motion, tried to hire a sales rep and I couldn't spend the time with them. I've got 3 businesses. And right when I started, I got pulled to save one of my other businesses. So I couldn't help make this work. So I just let it ride and got rid of the sales rep. He was out of Colombia. He was just struggling and I couldn't help him get better. But recently I thought of some other strategies and ways to implement my product set really. And I decided, okay, if I can do this now with my product, then I can take advantage of what these leads that I'm letting die, which I was seeing notifications and just not talking to them for a long time. And I didn't have time. And I finally said, okay, I'm going to tackle this. And so only about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I decided to start calling back leads and answering calls and meeting with people when they booked appointments. And the first couple of days, I sold a couple programs, and a couple of days later, I sold another one. And probably, I think if I can be focused, I think I could sell 2 or 3 a week out of what I do. And opt these maybe with a little more effort, but definitely a little more focus. Follow-ups I need to get better at. I'm torn in a lot of different directions, but I'm just trying to pioneer how this works so I can pass it to a real sales rep that can be focused like I can't.
Yeah, and we were just talking about how we can scale this up and pour more gas on it.
Yeah.
And from those deals that you've closed, were those one-time setup fees? What exactly did you provide for them? And was it monthly subscriptions that you got them on? What was the deals? What did they look like?
I do a monthly subscription. And I was going to start with a setup fee situation, but I decided because it's me, I don't have to fund anything. I can work cheap. So I told them that right now we're waiving the setup fee and it just starts with the monthly. They do pay the first month today. So we do get some money and make sure things are functioning, but then it just goes to a monthly payment. And what was shocking to me is I think 2 of them, or maybe 3 of them, bought on the call, one-time close. Yeah. Actually, that's not true. 2 of them bought one-time call on the call, closed right there. Never saw any examples of our work. Didn't even look at what we do. The 3rd guy, I still have never talked to him. He was all text, 100% text. Sent him the proposal text. He signed documents via text. Sent it back. I sent him his website finished. I've never talked to him. I just built it. Sent it to him. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I love it." I said, "Make changes." He says, "Okay, maybe I'll look at it." And he's never made any changes. That program's worked really good, and I've never talked to him. And then I've got several others that are in the process that are
pipeline. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just the way sales is, right? That's where you live and die, is in the follow-up. So I've got to nail that. But I was shocked that I could sell one call closes as easy as
the one call closes. I'm a big fan of one call closes. What's that?
It's a shout out to what you've built though, because it does all the hard work before. It does all the cold prospecting. It gets all the no's. It takes all the FUs and the flipped off emojis that I see. It takes all those so I don't have to. So when I get the call, they're already warmed up and pretty hot lead, really, which is the beauty
of the opportunity, dedicated time in their day to talk to you.
Yep.
And of these subscriptions, what is that monthly subscription you would say?
It's my basic site is $100 a month. And then I have some enhanced features. It can be 200 or 300. So we've sold out of the few sales we've made in the last few weeks. There's one 200 sale that should pop. It hasn't closed fully, but it didn't seem like it was an issue for him. And it never, in my case, it never turns off. So when I make a $100 sale, that's $1,200 a month for the length of their program. And 200, same thing. And we have other services too that we can offer, but we're just trying to get the process established. Use your system to figure out how to do it. And then we'll add other services in later and change our offers.
And so in that first 3 to 4 weeks of getting into it, getting it going on, able to close 3 sales with $1,200 in ARR each. So roughly $3,600 in value just in that
Yep.
period of time. And you
Yep.
see a clear path of how this can be scaled up, increased. I
Yep.
love that.
Yeah, I
And
think it's really great. It really is.
and to someone who is maybe listening to this conversation right now and they're like, I don't know. I don't know. What would you say to that person if they could say, ask a question? Is this really everything that you're describing right now? They're not sure.
My experience is if you can just learn it and do it and follow up, I think there's no chance you won't have success because they've already come to the table saying yes. They've given a positive interaction. So that's step one. And then if you can get them on the phone, and what I'm actually surprised by is the system sets a Google Meet every time. Not once has anybody showed up to that. I just call them on the phone. They're not.
That's unfortunate.
It is, but it's weird because I thought, but as a small business owner myself of other types of businesses, you don't have time necessarily to go sit at a computer or get on your phone, but you might take a phone call when you're busy. And
it's more common with the work you're doing. You would agree that a lot of them are not tech savvy.
right, yeah, we're
That's
small
probably
business.
why.
Yeah, exactly. Type of customer we're targeting, those kinds of things. But it doesn't seem to matter if we can get them on the phone and we can text, and that's how they operate in life, and that's how it's working. They don't probably do very many video calls, but it's been working good. But the critical question mark is ROI, right? The cost for the return, depending on your product and what you offer and all those things, is a no-brainer for me because I'll lose $300 to $500 a day just because I run lots of businesses and mistakes happen. Things go wrong. I just found out one of my employees is driving her car in circles and parking in parking lots half of her day, 4 hours a day. I'm losing over $1,000 a month on this one person just stretching out her day. And we finally just tracked her and realized, holy smokes. So we're losing money. And I thought, there's no risk here. This isn't enough risk to matter. But then when I realized this actually is a significant ROI, when I can turn $300 to $500 a month into $4,000, that's a big deal. That becomes and I didn't have to spend my whole day prospecting to find it. I didn't have to call 20, 30, 40 people to find that interested party. Your system did it for me.
And it's going to run whether you like it or not. It's going to be consistent.
And even if I'm having a bad day and somebody says, yeah, let's talk. Yeah, it makes it easy. It's really cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I came from cold calling. And if I didn't pick up the phone and dial, things didn't happen. And ultimately, I was able to send out a variety of cold outreach and filter just down to people who are interested. Yeah. But yeah, I really appreciate you sharing your experience. Pleasure working with you. And can't wait to kick ass, add some salesmen, and really turn up the gas on this.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your help today.
Absolutely.